Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Staff roll call.
Attendance noted.
Okay, thank you. Approval of the minutes, regular planning commission meeting of December 14th, 2015.
So moved. Second.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Thank you. Okay, opportunity for citizens to address the commission. I don't think there's anybody that wishes to do that right now. So we'll move on to the public hearings. And item number 1 is conditional use permit to allow expansion of a non-conforming accessory structure at 6341 Penn Avenue, Mother Duck Learning Center. Staff?
Thank you. The owner-operators of Mother Duck Learning Center, Mr. and Mrs. Moyne, have run a very successful daycare on Penn Avenue since 1994. In 2008, the business moved from the original location at 6341 Penn Avenue to 6301. But growth soon led the Moynes to reopen the 6341 location, and today they operate two locations of Mother Duck. Continued success brings them back before the Planning Commission now, with plans to make additional improvements to that original site. This time by replacing and expanding an existing large storage building with a new building suitable for additional classroom space. The mixed-use districts do not allow accessory structures. The existing accessory storage building is considered legally nonconforming, and the mixed-use districts do allow the expansion of legally nonconforming buildings via a conditional use permit, so long as that expansion does not increase the overall site-wide degree of nonconformity or impede the goals of the comprehensive plan. The proposed building will sit on the exact footprint of the existing storage structure, except that on the north side, there will be an additional 10 feet added to the building. The area in which the additional space will be constructed is currently asphalt, so there'll be no change or impact to the landscape buffer yard on the north side. The new building will include windows and be more attractive from all 4 sides. There are a number of criteria that apply to a request like this because it's a non-conforming use, because you also need a conditional use permit. All those criteria are met in the opinion of staff. There's just one item I wanted to note, and that is that in 2012, there was a landscape plan that included parking lot screening along the north and east sides of the property. That's on the Oliver side. Staff and the applicant have discussed replacing some of those plantings that have been removed or mowed over in the last couple of years. So this summer, as a condition of this approval, that will all be replaced. That plan still meets current requirements. The applicants are here tonight, Mr. and Mrs. Moyne, if you have any questions. Otherwise, staff is happy to answer questions as well.
Okay, first of all, any questions of staff? None? Okay, any questions of the Moynes? Okay, seeing none. Is there any discussion at all relative to this? Sounds pretty much blanket, huh? Okay. Could I have a motion then to close the public meeting first?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion is second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Carries. And then a motion for the recommended action.
So moved.
Okay. Is there a second? Who's the second?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, and any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Carries. There you go. It's too easy. Okay. Good luck in your endeavors.
Yes, good luck.
Okay. Moving on to item number 2 is a zoning ordinance amendment updating daycare regulations in residential districts. Staff.
Thank you. For your consideration tonight are some minor changes to daycare regulations in the code. Earlier this year, we discovered that current Richfield regulations conflict with state regulations. So these are just some housekeeping items. I'll quickly go over some of the changes. Right now, there's a definition of group family daycare in the Richfield Code. This definition is different than the state definition of group family daycare. When it comes down to it, it really doesn't matter for our local purposes what a group family daycare is versus a family daycare versus just daycare. All of these uses are required to be permitted in single-family districts in our code. So we've removed the definition of group family daycare, thinking that that will be regulated at the state level, and we're just going to regulate the things that are necessary and need to be known by people reading the code, like the overall capacity numbers, things like that, not these definitions. Next, we discovered that our capacity numbers are incorrect. As I mentioned, there are these different categories: group family daycare, family daycare. Right now, the Richfield code references 12 children, but allows up to 14 children under this incorrectly defined group family daycare. The state allows up to 14 children in single-family districts. Again, that has to be permitted in our single-family districts. So we're going to let enforcement of special license requirements just be handled by the state, and discussion at the zoning code level, our zoning code level, should only say that we're going to simplify it to allow state licensed daycare facilities serving 14 or fewer children. Finally, we're adding a specific allowance for a non-resident employee. State licensing requires an additional caregiver when more than 12 children are present. An allowance for one non-resident employee has been added to our code so that it doesn't conflict with either the state requirements or our home occupation regulations, which right now would require a conditional use permit for a non-resident employee. So again, these are housekeeping items. We're just getting to this now, although it's come up a couple of times in this last year, and we've been regulating these uses just under the state code, kind of ignoring our regulations. So it's just really cleanup.
Mr. Chairman, I'd move the staff deletions and additions.
First, we just have to close the public hearing.
Okay, we'll close the public hearing, sir.
Let's close.
Close the public
Since
hearing.
there is no one. Is there, first of all, I need questions of staff.
All right.
Okay, none, then I'd ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
No public here.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There we go. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Carries. Okay, Mr. Stamfus?
Now, I will move that we adopt the staff deletions and additions to the regulations.
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Thank you. Okay, that was simple. Okay, and then any new business? Okay, any old business? If none, moving on to liaison reports, Community Services Commission. Okay, they had their meeting, let's see, I think we did end up with a quorum, so we were okay. Basically, the discussion was on Monroe Park, and they're getting towards the final plan for Monroe Park as far as the drain system that's going to be going through the park. I think one interesting thing is they're going to also be able to do some improvements to that particular park as far as safety and cleanup of some of the buckthorn and so on and so forth. So that's going to take place, as well as put in a handicap accessory path from 66th Street once 66th is done. The lighting is kind of an interesting feature. They're going to put some new lighting in there because it's rather dark, especially in the back portions of the park, but the whole park will actually have it. And it will be solar lighting with LED lights, which will work really nicely, as far as also it will be low enough they won't be going into neighbors' windows and doors and all this kind of good stuff. But we'll add a nice dimension of security to the park as twilight approaches, and light is needed as people are walking those paths with their dogs and kids and whatever. So that's nice. The other feature will be that they're proposing is to have the back lot area will be basically set up as a soccer field. So they'll put a kind of a berm as such that drains the water down to where it needs to go, but cleans up that area back there. It's kind of needs some help right now. So there's a lot of things going on there, football practices and soccer practices, so this will fit right into it and work nicely for it. Let's see, anything else? I think just, let's see, update on the trash collection. There was discussion on that. Just basically, it's a wait and see approach as far as more discussion on the trash collection from their perspective until we see what goes on with Bloomington and where they're at. So that'd probably be a couple more months before anything moves it forward. It's kind of a wait and see to learn from what their experience has been and what they go through before they start up. And I think that's it for community services. City council update? No report, okay. Let's see, Richfield, no, Housing and Redevelopment Authority.
They met right before this meeting, so I have a full report at the next meeting.
Okay. Richfield School Board,
Just the swearing in of new members and then also the election of officers.
okay, very good. Transportation Commission,
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend, but I will say that the main topic of discussion was sidewalks, both residential sidewalks and possible improvements, or at least pricing out improvements on some busier streets.
let's see, Chamber of Commerce.
No report.
Okay. Anything else? Any other items? Okay. City Planners Report then.
I just want to remind you that there is a study session tomorrow night to talk about an update to the Cedar Corridor Master Plan. That's JLG Consultants. They're the ones who originally drafted that plan almost 10 years ago now, I believe. That is tomorrow night at 6 p.m. And then also, this is the last meeting of Commissioner Rosenberg and Commissioner Kitzberger's terms this time. Both commissioners have applied for reappointment, and that gets announced tomorrow at the council meeting. But I did want to thank you for your service this term. Hopefully, you will just be reappointed next term or tomorrow night, and we will see you in February. But I did want to acknowledge your service. Thank you.
Thank you. And I wish to do the same. Thank you for your attendance and your input. So that's great. And yeah, hopefully we see you back. Next meeting then is January 26th. If there's nothing else, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you. That's not January 26th. It's wrong date on there, but anyhow, it's next month. So,
Well, the next meeting is tomorrow night.
Yeah.
That's why that was on there.
Gotcha. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
The
Thank you
next
very
regular meeting for us is February 22nd.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, so motion to adjourn in a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much.